So I've mentioned a few times on this channel that one of the things I really strive for looking at when I'm buying a product or researching a product is the value you get for the money that you're going to spend. It's not always about just spending the most that you can to get the most expensive item, because that item's features might not be comparable to something that's half the cost but has twice as many features.
Nice.
A lot of the times in the past on my channel, I've reviewed a lot of items from Fifine and I've praised the fact that they have a really good value for the dollar that you're going to spend. You could go ahead and get a Shure SM7B for like $500 Canadian, and you're going to be extremely content with the sound. You might get the best sound quality out there, but you're still spending that $500. And I'm one of those people that finds that the build quality of an item is very important as one of the feature sets that you want when you're paying for an electronic, right? It used to be like if an item is cheap, plasticky feel, then you might feel like you're getting ripped off, versus something that's heavy and metal will feel much more robust and worth the money. I think that applies for pretty much everything except for mice nowadays, right? Everyone wants a mice that's like 39 grams or 40 grams. When the first time I held a G502 and it was like super heavy, I'm like, oh, this is a nice mouse. This has a good build quality. And now I'm using the Xtrfy M4W, which is like 70 grams or something. Anyways, that's besides the point. Back to the microphone. First off, guys, if you're enjoying videos like this, please make sure to leave a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel. It is greatly appreciated. This entire review is going to be done with the AmpliTank 3. I won't be using a different microphone and then doing tests. Like, the entire review is based on this microphone. So I'm using it for the whole video. First out of the box, very simple. You get the microphone itself, you get the manual, and you get the USB-C cable, USB connector that comes with it. You don't get an XLR cable. And you also get this built-in, this is a nice little sleek like shock mount stand. Doesn't have a stand. You still have to put it to a boom arm or a standalone microphone stand, but it does come with its own built-in shock mount. Now, the biggest difference between the Tank 3 and the K688 or the Ampligame AM8 right away for Fifine is the build quality. So this one is really made robust. It's heavy, it's made of metal. It really has that more, I guess, premium look to it, less gamer aesthetic and more podcast look to it, if you will. Less on the streaming side and the gaming side, but more on the professional sound quality side. It is the most expensive of their three microphones. It is sturdy, it is metal. If you hit someone over the head with it, it will knock them out. The AM8 is around $60 US. The K688 is about $70 US. And at the time of filming this, I believe the Tank 3 is $80 US. Now I'm trying to convert it in my head because I pay Canadian pricing for all these. So yeah, that kind of makes sense. And it also makes sense. So you have three different budget and three different options from Fifine, which is really a good thing that you want to see from a company. So a couple of other features that you get directly out of the box with this microphone. So the easy thing that Fifine has done is you don't need to get anything else with it. So if you would go for, let's say, a Rode Pod mic, a Shure SM7B, you would have to get an XLR cable and you would have to get an audio interface. So you would need an SC3, a Go XLR, a Scarlett 2i2, 4i4, whatever. You would need an audio interface to connect a microphone to. And you have the option to do that here, right? Because you could connect it through XLR into an audio interface, into your PC or into your podcast setup, whatever you want to do, and have a bit more control from the audio interface. But if you don't want to spend that much, if you're just starting out and you want to kind of test the waters, or you want to have a really minimalistic setup and you don't want to have an extra item on your desk that needs another power cord, that needs more cables, then you could just plug it through the USB-C. And the advantage you get with that is also that it gives you access to kind of a mini audio interface like control directly on the microphone. So you have the mute button here. It's green now. If you press it, it turns red. So you'll know if you're muted. You have the microphone gain here. So right now I'm set at about 40%, but I could turn it up to 100 and you could see that it's going to change the volume of my voice. I'll bring it back down to about that 45% mark. And then you have another control for headphone monitoring. So you could plug in headphones and you could have live, instantaneous monitoring of your voice, or you could have the sound from the PC, the game, whatever you're doing, and your voice. So you could really monitor the audio levels to make sure that you have the good mix of your voice versus the game sound or video sound or anything in the background. And you have all that built into the microphone. So you're getting all those features and controls without having to get an additional audio interface. But if you wanted one, you could just go with XLR and use an audio interface. Just remember one thing: when you go through XLR, you lose access to the functionality that's built into the microphone. All that only works with USB-C connection. Now, if you have both USB-C and XLR connected because you think, oh, I'll use the XLR voice audio channel but features the microphone, it doesn't work that way. If you plug in both XLR and USB-C, it's going to pick up the XLR sound and you're not going to be able to use the features on and the built-in inline controls of the microphone. Okay, so far I've been using the Tank 3 in this video at about a 40-45% gain. Now the Tank 3 sound quality is considered more neutral. The AM8 is going to be a bit low and bassy, and then the K688 is going to be more high to mid. They all have USB-C and XLR, so they're all the same in terms of interface, and they all have the gain, monitoring, inline mute buttons all directly on the microphone. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to literally take off the USB-C from this microphone, put it in these ones so you could get kind of a sound quality difference between the three. Make a decision on if it's worth the $10 difference between the AM8 to the K688 and the other $10 difference between the K688 and the Tank 3. Let's start with, this is the Tank 3, and now I'm going to switch it to the AM8. Let's see if it works super easy. All right, so hopefully this is picking up. What's the gain at? Oh, the gain is set to max. So let's put it to 50, just like the other, 45, just like the other one. So same thing, same distance. Now I'm talking through the AM8, and as you guys could see, it has the light, the power, the green light, so it's on. All the same controls. You can mute, gain, monitoring, XLR input, everything's available as well, but this is the AM8. Now let's switch it over to the K688 and see if you could see a difference between the three. All right, same gain, green light, where it goes. So now I'm talking through the K688, and you could see that the sound might be very similar between the three, but this is considered more high to mid. The AM8 was more low and bassy, and this one here is going to be more of a neutral sound. So depending on which one you might be hearing a difference, I haven't even listened to all three yet separately in this video, so I'm recording it now live for you guys, and you guys could kind of make a decision on which one you think sounds better. The only difference is this one is on its boom arm, and I'm holding the other two because I don't feel like unscrewing this one and then changing it all the time. Now this is it with the XLR cable, and the microphone volume is set to about 90%. That's the advantage of this type of microphone. So now again, I will be typing on my keyboard. Not sure if it picks it up, but then I'm tapping it really hard and it should probably pick up a few keys. Besides sound quality and the look of the microphone, they all have the same features. They're all USB-C, XLR compatible. They all have the gain and headphone monitoring, volume controls directly on it, mute button directly on the microphone. So I guess the question comes down at the end of the day is, who is the Tank 3 microphone for? Because Fifine has three budget-friendly microphones, right? There's not a big gap between the two or the three. You have 55, 72, and 79, but they offer slight differences, and I think that's where they come into play, right? Your AM8 is going to be that lower bassy RGB at the bottom square look that might look well for streaming. So on Twitch, on Kick, or YouTube, if you want to have the live stream, it might look like a nicer microphone. The K688 has the bigger bass to it. It has like the pop filter is a bit more prominent. It kind of looks like a Shure SM7B style, so they might be playing on that while still having kind of a higher mid sound. Whereas the Tank 3 is built for somebody that wants a better build quality and wants to pay a bit of a premium for that build quality and still get a very neutral sound. So this is much sleeker. I really like the look of it. I like the controls. I like the actual like push button mute on it versus the touch sensor mute on the AM8. The only difference, the AM8 actually comes with a stand, whereas the K688 and the Tank 3, they just come with a shock mount, and then you can put it on a boom arm or a stand like you want. I do find that the shock mount on the Tank 3 is actually really sleek. I like the look of it. They're budget, value-oriented brand, and I'm honestly really enjoying their products to the point where, like, yes, I've done a lot of reviews on Fifine products, but guys, I don't really change my setup for these reviews. So prior to putting this on, I had the K688 here, and I have the Fifine SC3 audio interface on my, it's been there the whole time. I replaced my Scarlett 2i2 for that. And again, I said maybe the Scarlett 2i2 does have better sound profile at the end of the day, but the SC3 offers me better features with the push button mute, better inline controls. It has some RGB, which is nice. I'm not just saying, hey, go get Fifine and then I put these in a box and put them away. I actually use the products on a daily basis. And this is the boom arm from Fifine as well, the low profile boom arm. It has not left my desk. You can look at all the other videos. It's always been the K688 most recently, and the SC3 has been on the desk. Anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please make sure to leave a like on this video, sub to the channel. It is greatly appreciated. I will leave links for the microphone and the other microphone Fifine products in the description down below. I'll put the Amazon links. I'll probably put the Amazon US links. I'll probably put both. But yeah, that'll do for this one, guys, and I will catch you guys next time.